Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Elevated Beauty Podcast. I'm your host, Emily Fouts, and in today's episode, I want to talk about skincare beyond the face. So I really like to make people think about self-care and ask yourself the question, how well do you cherish your body? And if it seems like a lot of work, maybe you haven't experienced how it feels to have a well cared for body and a clear, healthy image of self-care. So for me, taking care of my body and doing these rituals at least weekly, obviously I take a shower every day. I do my AM and PM skincare every day, but I like to go beyond that and make sure that I'm taking care of my body from the hair on top of my head to my toes. And a lot of people don't experience that because they haven't been introduced to it. So I just kind of want to make you ask yourself these questions and kind of see if there's some things that you might be missing out on. So my favorite thing to do for my body is body oils. Every time I get out of the shower, I put on a body oil. I put it all the way from the back of my neck down to my feet. My feet do get a little bit dry, but I actually kind of got introduced to them when I was when my husband and I were on our honeymoon in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and that is known as like Spa City, basically. And they have natural hot springs, they have bathhouses, historical bathhouses and stuff, and so they have this really cool shop called the Bathhouse Soapery in Caldarium. And from the very first time I ever went to Hot Springs, it really captivated me, and I was really intrigued by how much fun they had with hygiene products and self-care, and it was a different way of thinking about it. And it's like luxurious products, and they smelled really amazing. So I've been buying stuff from them, and I really wanted to make a wholesale account with them, but they're not accepting any wholesale applications right now, unfortunately. But anyways, they have body oils, and they have body scrubs, foaming body scrubs, bath bombs, bar soap, whip soaps, which that is where I first got introduced into whip soaps as well. And so I actually started making my own body oils and my own whipped soaps after really being captivated by the way that they did things. And so I still make my own just for personal use. When I first got into it, and this was when I was still a stay-at-home mom after I had my daughter and I had moved to Colorado. I didn't get back into the workforce yet, and it was not on my mind to have my own business. Elevated Beauty was not present in my mind. This was 2019, and so I started playing with the idea of maybe, making a soapery line or whatever, and I actually attended a few farmers markets. And I had like a whole name for it and everything, but then I kind of got overwhelmed with it and decided to just make my products for personal use. And like I said, I still do because it's something I enjoy, and I can customize my scents and I can customize the body oil composition. I personally really like a body oil that's not too thin. I like it to leave a little bit of a lasting, like emolliency. So I put avocado oil in mine, like a really low percentage, and then I put rice bran and either safflower or saffron oil. So that's what I had decided on. But Bathhouse Soapery and Caldarium's oils are equally as good. So anyways, yeah, I use my body oils. I don't use body lotion. I just don't prefer it, but the skin on my body never really gets dry. But if it did, I would definitely layer a body moisturizer, body lotion on top of that. My hands, my knuckles get so dry. The water out here in Colorado is really hard, and with how much I wash my hands, changing my daughter's diaper, doing dishes, all these things, even just being an esthetician, washing our hands all the time, my knuckles will even crack sometimes. So I definitely apply the oil on my hands, but yeah, and I have to apply a lotion on top of them. And one that I've really been liking lately is Gold Bond's Eczema Colloidal Oatmeal, 2% colloidal oatmeal. I haven't found a professional brand yet, which I haven't tested a lot out. A professional brand of like body lotion that is superior, but I've really been wanting to try out Graham's Naturals. It's a really small brand from Australia, and they created a line from when their son was an infant. They weren't aware of any products that would accommodate him, so they ended up making their own formulations, and they have pretty good success stories. So I'm really intrigued on trying some products out from them for eczema and just, like the hands and feet maybe. But anyways, body oils. I even put it on my pubic area to prevent any ingrown hairs, because if you're waxing, waxing or not waxing, that's an area that a lot of people forget to hydrate. So you definitely need to hydrate that. It's going to soften the hairs, even if you're shaving. Like if you're not waxing, you still need to rehydrate that hair follicle, because it's going to reduce any inflammation from shaving, and it's going to soften the hair so that they potentially don't get trapped under dead skin cells. So that's what I love. I'm definitely going to be bringing some body oils into my retail space once I get that established. I'm not sure who I'm going to go with. I know Just the Strip is a brand that I really like. That is a really sweet and well-educated and experienced esthetician, local to Colorado as well. She's very popular amongst estheticians, and she has she only has like 2 scents right now of body oils, but I'm definitely going to be trying those out for the future. And let's see, besides that, I definitely do a body scrub every time that I take a shower. I have yet to try the, what is it called? It's the one from Glymed Plus, which is the brand that I primarily use. It's like it's got alpha hydroxy acids in it, and it's a body scrub. And I've really been wanting to try that out, but right now I'm just using Tree Hut, which works for me because I literally just do it on my pits, on my pubic area, and my chest. I don't get ingrown hairs but on my pubic area, but if I did, I would not use a body scrub. I would use specifically an ingrown hair serum, or like Just the Strip has like a roll-on, or ingrown hair pads in the pad form, or Fur is a brand which I'll probably be bringing on. They have an ingrown hair serum, which I kind of would prefer a serum over a roll-on, because just like for bacterial purposes, which I'm sure the ingredients in there kind of kill the bacteria anyways. But yeah, if you do get ingrown hairs, I definitely recommend a specific ingrown hair treatment, but I just use a body scrub because that kind of, sheds the dead, gets rid of all the sweat and stuff. So I do that on my booty, on my pubic area, and my pits every time I take a shower. I call that the hot spots. So I always remind my clients to exfoliate your hot spots. And that just makes me feel better. It makes me feel clean. And I know that I'm doing it for the benefit of my body. So as well as that, I already talked about my whip soaps. That's what I use at home. I actually developed a rash from using, and I tried like a few different over-the-counter, just like regular soaps. Just out of nowhere, I started getting like little red bumps. So I've started making my own bar soaps, and then when I tried the whip soaps from Bath House Soapery and Caldarium, I decided to make my own whip soaps, and I've been using that for like 3 years now. But definitely use a soap that does not have any like sulfates in it, like sodium lauryl sulfate. My husband actually recently got, because he went on a work trip, and it was Method, the brand Method, and they kind of are seemingly like clean, but he told me that it was making his skin feel dry. I read the ingredients, and of course sodium lauryl sulfate was on there. So definitely I recommend any body soap that you're going to use, just make sure that that is not in there. That's a surfactant, and it basically just like strips your oils. So you definitely want to get a clean, you definitely want to feel clean, but you don't want your body to be completely stripped of oils. So besides that, I also use a natural deodorant. I always thought like, ew, that's gross, because like before I really was super health conscious, I kind of assumed that natural deodorants didn't work. But the deodorant that I use, it contains a vegetable enzyme in it. And so what this vegetable enzyme does is it kills the odor-causing bacteria. It doesn't have any aluminum in it. It doesn't have any phthalates or parabens. Parabens are known to clog your pores. So that's kind of a preservative ingredient, but it's really frowned upon because it is carcinogenic, and then it also clogs your pores. I do see people who I have given underarm waxes to, and they have clogged pores, and they ask me to extract them, and it's really tough because they're like gummy, and it's because of the parabens. So make sure that you're using a deodorant, even if it has aluminum in it, that doesn't have parabens. But aluminum is also not super great for you. I believe that is what kind of inhibits your sweating. And you actually do need to sweat. That is an important function of our body. It helps to regulate our temperatures. So I don't know, if you do have trouble sweating a lot, I mean, my mom has hyperhidrosis actually, so she has a medicated deodorant that she uses, but I'm fine with sweating a little bit. If I know I'm going to be sweating, then I'm okay with that. If I'm going on a hike, you're going to be sweating. So it's never been an issue for me to have a deodorant that doesn't necessarily stop me from sweating, but rather just stops the odor. So that is what I recommend. And I have to say, since I have been using that, I've been using it for like 3 years now, I don't have an odor. Even when I sweat, I don't have an odor under my underarms. So in a way, it kind of like, I feel like it did a cleanse. So that is what I will do, and I will continue to do for the rest of my life. I will use a vegetable enzyme deodorant. There are some that are natural, but instead of a vegetable enzyme, they use like baking soda. It's something else, but I have seen some deodorants advertise that they don't contain any baking soda, so that leads me to believe that there might be a negative factor into using baking soda. I know that it would help to absorb the sweat, but that's the one that I'm sticking with. I have looked to see which ones that I want to bring on in the future for my retail, but I haven't decided on one yet. Let me know when I post, this episode on my Instagram, Elevated Beauty Podcast, if you have a favorite one. But yeah, right now I use the one by Bath House Soapery and Caldarium. So additionally, we can't forget about the feet. I do, again, like a lot of my body care is from Bath House Soapery and Caldarium, and then the stuff that I have made myself. So we can't forget about the feet. I do use a scrub from them. It's like the Detox Foot Scrub. It makes my feet feel so soft afterwards, not only because of the exfoliation, but because it has silica in there. So I like to do that, and then I like to do like a foot balm. I do have a foot balm from them in a stick form, but I know Farmhouse Fresh also has something called Honey Heel Glaze, and it's actually kind of like honey, and then they advise you to put socks on afterwards. So definitely, which I suffer from, like my pinky toes, the cuticle will crack a lot. So I try to make sure that I do that every time I take a shower, if not like every other time. So I definitely take care of my feet a lot because I have to, but it's just really important not to forget about that because your feet are the foundation of your body. I don't get pedicures regularly because I kind of keep up with my feet myself. I would love to get pedicures regularly, but I'm kind of self-conscious about my pinky toes. I have like bad circulation, I guess, and so maybe that's why I don't have like really good blood supply, so my cuticles on my pinky toes will crack and stuff like that. So let's see. Oh, okay, so besides actual like topical products that you can put on, there are other things that you can do to make sure that you're keeping your body happy and healthy, acne free, and that is going to be changing your sheets weekly. I think a lot of younger people really forget to do that. I know when I was younger, I feel like I definitely didn't do that. And for anti-aging benefits, silk pillowcases. So what this is going to do is this is going to help to reduce wrinkles, because you are smushing your face up against like a softer, smoother fabric, and it's just nicer to your skin as well as your hair even. I have been really like health conscious about my hair since I was a teenager. I used to take biotin religiously as a teenager, thinking it would magically make my hair grow. And now I know better than that. I know that biotin can actually potentially break you out, which I did suffer from acne as a teenager, but I wouldn't contribute it directly to that. But yeah, I have thinner, finer hair, so I definitely like to keep all of it as much as I can. I also pick at my hair. I'm not sure if I have trichotillomania, but as early as I can remember, I would so when I was a kid, I would get angry and I would literally run my fingers through my hair, and anywhere like I had a knot in my hair, I would pull it out and I would ball it up and throw it under my bed. I know, weirdo. And then, obviously my mom would get on to me for doing that, and then I stopped doing it. And I remember this one time I was cleaning out my hairbrush, and then I did the same thing with my hair. I just balled it up and put it under my bed, and she thought I was pulling out my hair again, so I remember getting a spanking for that. But I don't pull my hair out anymore, but I do break the ends off. It's like an anxiety thing, something I do when I'm a passenger in the car, or when I'm bored or just anxious. If I have dead ends on my hair, I will pull them until they break off. It's horrible. I hate to even admit that, but it's a real thing. So I use Moroccan oil every time I shower or every time I wash my hair. And now I used to wash it every other day until I was in my early 20s. And now I wash it once or twice a week, which is recommended for, I don't know about for ethnic hairs, but I know for white Caucasian hair, we don't produce as much oil. Or no, we do produce more oil in our scalp. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, Brad Mondo said to do that. So I wash my hair once or twice a week, and that just helps it to retain the oils better and not dry out as much. Or actually, no, I'm talking out the side of my head. It keeps me from producing too much oil, because I remember when I was in my early 20s, my hair would get so greasy, and that is why I needed to wash it every other day, because my hair was used to being my scalp was used to being dried out from being washed every other day, and so it triggered it to produce more oil. The same thing with your skin. If you have oily skin and you're not moisturizing, your skin is going to continue to produce more oil because it needs to lubricate that follicle. So my hair doesn't get greasy now. I can afford to wash it once or twice a week because it's not producing at the level that it once did. So yeah, I like to take care of my hair. Silk pillowcases are great. I definitely have one, but I'm not a big fan of it because it's not the right type of silk, I guess, that I expected. So I need to get another one. But you could also wear a silk bonnet, a silk sleeping cap. If you really want to protect your hair from breakage, if you have heat damage or anything like that. So that's something that I do and that I enjoy doing. I use a wet brush, which has the flexible bristles and keeps your hair from breaking off. I don't use those harsh little hair ties. I use a claw clip or a scrunchie, and I've been doing that since 2019 as well, since I had my daughter, because after you have a kid, well, when you have a newborn, you don't care about your hair as much. I just needed to throw it up. So that's when I started using scrunchies and realized that it made life easier. And scrunchies are kind of back in now, actually. And while we're kind of talking about things that you can do and use to prevent body acne, is what you wash your body with. So no loofahs. You can either use a washcloth or a silicone washing mitt. So I use both of those. I do have a silicone washing mitt that I got from Walmart actually, and it came with a facial little silicone scrubber too. So I like that because it is really sanitary, but I also use my daughter's baby washcloths because they're soft. And hey, that's what, excuse me, it actually works good for cleansing my face as well. So like a microfiber cloth or like a baby washcloth, totally, you can get those to wash your face with. But of course, the ones that are meant for your face are even softer because they are microfiber. They do have microfiber baby washcloths, but the ones my daughter has is just that, I don't know, that traditional, thinner, softer material, and that works fine on my face. Okay, so besides that, I lastly wanted to mention supplements. So I take supplements not just for my internal health, but like in turn, my internal health is going to reflect on my skin. So what I do to keep my body healthy is by taking omega-3 supplements. So you do need omega-3s, omega-6s, omega-9s. I get plenty of omega-6s in my diet, but I don't get as much omega-3s. So I make sure to take those in supplement form. Omega-3 fatty acids are going to help to lubricate your follicles and reduce any inflammation. It's going to balance your gut microbiome, which is such a big deal when it comes to acne, and that is something that I used to deal with in the past, was acne as a result of my gut microbiome. So that's something that I definitely recommend for people that seem to have acne triggered by that. And I do have a podcast episode about the gut health, about the gut microbiome. That's a really deep topic if you want to learn more about that. And while we're talking about internal health has a reflection on your outer skin health, I will probably record, I feel like the gut microbiome episode really dove into that a lot. So definitely listen to that if you want to know more about how your internal health translates to your external. But yeah, just making sure that your diet is really rich in all the nutrients and things that you need to have a healthy skin and a healthy function. So that is something that I am also conscious of. Like tonight, I made a dinner that I did not like just because I knew that I needed to eat those vegetables and stuff. So yeah, I think that's all I have for today on that topic. Hopefully you guys learned something new. But as always, I just want to thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next Monday, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for another episode.